Quotes from John Calvin. From the Kindle, Deep Christian Quotes and Bible Verses. First quote. How can you exhibit those works of charity which Paul describes unless you renounce yourself and become wholly devoted to others? Charity, says he, 1 Corinthians 13-4, suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked. Were it the only thing required of us to seek not our own, nature would not have the least power to comply. She so inclines us to love ourselves only, that she will not easily allow us carelessly to pass by ourselves, and our own interests that we may watch over the interests of others. Nay, spontaneously to yield our own rights and resign it to another. Second quote. Whatever we obtain from the Lord is granted on the condition of our employing it for the common good of the Church. And that, therefore, the legitimate use of all our gifts is a kind and liberal communication of them with others. There cannot be a surer rule, nor a stronger exhortation to the observance of it, than when we are taught that all the endowments which we possess, are divine deposits entrusted to us, for the very purpose of being distributed for the good of our neighbor. Third quote. But if the gifts of God are not sanctified to us until we have with our own hand dedicated them to the giver, it must be a gross abuse that does not give signs of such dedication. Fourth quote. I gave up all for Christ, and what have I found? Everything in Christ. Fifth quote. We unjustly defraud God of His right, unless each of us leaves and dies in dependence on His sovereign pleasure. Sixth quote. The human heart has so many crannies where vanity hides, so many holes where falsehood works, is so decked out with deceiving hypocrisy, that it often dupes itself. Seventh quote. No one will calmly and quietly submit to bear the cross except those who have learned to seek their happiness beyond this world. Eighth quote. There exists in the human minds and indeed by natural instinct, some sense of deity. We hold to be beyond dispute, since God Himself, to prevent any man from pretending ignorance, has endued all men with some idea of His Godhead, the memory of which He constantly renews and occasionally enlarges, that all to a man being aware that there is a God, and that He is their Maker, may be condemned by their own conscience when they neither worship Him nor consecrate their lives to His service. It is most absurd, therefore, to maintain, as some do, that religion was devised by the cunning and craft of a few individuals, as a means of keeping the body of the people in due subjection, while there was nothing which those very individuals, while teaching others to worship God, less believed than the existence of a God. Thanks.